You probably don't know who these dudes are, but I bet you know who their kids are. Let me tell you about it. It's one of my favorite YouTubers, Peter McKinnon. He has these videos occasionally. It'll be called his Bucket Shot, and they are incredible. That guy, big props, big fan, Peter. Keep them coming. And this is sort of one of those for me. Now, it didn't start that way. It was one of those ones that just sort of happened organically. So let me tell you who these two guys are. Maybe once I tell you their names, you'll get the idea of who I'm talking about. This is Jim Carney and Chuck Auerbach. Those last names mean anything to you? Those are the dads of the Black Keys. Interesting how I got to meet them and how I got this shot. So I'll give you a little backstory. First of all, the Black Keys, if you haven't heard of them, huge band. At one point, they were the #1 licensed band on their label. So even if you don't know who they were, you heard their music in television commercials and movies and TV shows. Their music was licensed all over the place for a minute, a number of years back. And they are, huge international rock stars at this point. When they were young in Akron and they were just on the come up, man, if you got to see one of their shows, it was awesome. It started right. They came out of the gate sounding awesome. Some of their first albums are still some of the favorite records that I listen to now. Two guys making so much sound, and it was just awesome if you were able to catch them at a show. And one of the last shows I was able to get to see them in a small venue was in Akron at Musica, because it was a benefit, and it was just awesome. Those guys, a huge fan of those guys. Well, the way they got their name is an interesting story, and I actually have a whole documentary about it that you can watch on this channel. They got the name from this outsider artist in Akron, Ohio, and that was one of his expressions when he was upset. He thought the black key on a piano sounded weird, and so he had this expression about if he was unhappy, he'd be like, someone's stepping on my black keys or getting all over my black keys. And Chuck, Dan's father, was a big fan of Alfred's artwork, and actually kind of was his patron and helped him to get his artwork out and even into the Akron Art Museum. Chuck would get phone messages occasionally from Alfred that would say this about the Black Key or Black Keys, and the boys, Dan and Pat, loved it. They thought that was a great band name, so they gave their band the name the Black Keys based on this artist.
I'll show you an email that I have from Pat when they decided to call themselves the Black Keys. I think they both knew Alfred. Dan knew him better, because I think he came over to their house a lot. And I think they were just trying to come up with a name for the band, and they used the Black Keys.
It's an interesting story. You should definitely check out my documentary. I'll put a link below. So I did the documentary about this artist, and I got to become friends with both of the dads, with Jim and with Chuck, because they spent a lot of time working with Alfred. Well, this was all just sort of happening simultaneously. I had gotten to know them, hanging out with them, and then I had seen this poster that Dan and Pat were in promoting their concerts. And it's this wonderful, iconic image of the two of them sitting on a couch. And I'm like, how cool would it be to get the dads sort of in the same position, doing the same action on a couch with a curtain background, just like they had in this poster. And I call this piece the Patriarch Keys. And it's just an absolute treat to have, to me, the fathers of the Black Keys in a similar portrait that the sons were in. And it's sad because Chuck has since passed, and so this piece has become very special to me. Every time I see this picture, I get a big smile, especially the way the look on Jim's face. He did a great job of imitating his son for this photo. And Chuck's indifference, just like Dan in the poster, if you look at the two, I think they did a wonderful job. And me having the time and the chance to get a picture like this, just a real treat for me. It was a very quick shoot, and the stage that I was on had really terrible lighting. And in the full color version, I really don't like it because their faces are different colors, because it was a band stage that we used. and the stage lights were set up, for a music event. But in black and white, with a little bit of touch up, I just absolutely love this picture. So, I don't know, that's the story of one of my absolute favorite pictures, the Patriarch Keys. Tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you like the story? Should I do more of these? But, either way, if you did enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.